Welcome to Handyman Mark, part garage, part science lab, part bad idea factory. We've got Jeeps, Harleys, 3D printers, laser engravers, and just enough handyman skills to be dangerous. Let's mess something up together. All right, so welcome back. What we're going to do today is we're going to set up a 4-tire inflation system. What I have here, I got the Flexzilla 1/4-inch hose. I did some research between 1/4-inch and 3/8. The air delivery through these fittings and what I'm working with was nominal difference. So I went with the 1/4-inch just simply because it's going to take up less room in the back of the Jeep when I'm not using it. So I did go with the Flexzilla hose. It is made in America. Made in America, guys. That means something. I got the 50-footer, which should be more than enough. We also got some Flexzilla reusable fittings. These are great because if you ever get a hole in your hose or anything like that, you can take these off, cut off a section of hose, put the fitting back on, and you'll be up and running again. Something easy to do on the trail should it happen. We have 4 of the fittings. There's 2 that came on the hose. We have a gauge. We have a shutoff valve. We have a 1-in, 3-out splitter. I have 4 of the tire chucks. I have a bunch of quick connect fittings, both male and female. I have some T's, 2 T's, and then I have some hose barb to 1/4-inch NPT fittings. We have, of course, Teflon tape. Tools that I'm figuring I'm going to need are, this is a 6mm socket. This is to tighten up the hose clamps. We have a 14mm wrench, 16mm wrench, and a 19mm wrench. These are for all our various fittings. And then we have a pair of hose cutters. If you don't have a dedicated pair of hose cutters, I definitely recommend you get a pair. These are very handy in all kinds of situations. I have them because of my day job as a handyman. I'm cutting packs. I'm cutting different pipes all the time. So these come in handy for that. But let's get started. We'll open up our air hose here. Need a new blade in my knife. 2, and there's the 3rd one. I don't need trash. Oh, she is dull, people. Let's see. Has the other side of this blade been used? It has. We're going to dispose of that. This is why I like my Craftsman flip knife. Open it up in the back here, and magically, you have spare blades. So when I'm on the job, I don't have to run out to my truck just to get a freaking razor blade to put in here. Bada boom, bada bing. Now we got a good blade. Now we'll get into this. Just like that, we're done with the knife. Garbage disappears. All right, first thing we want to do, we want to take this hose and get it all laid out. Get it all untangled. I just probably made it worse than it needed to be, but oh well. All the kinks out of it. You can see this thing is so soft. It's so relaxed. Get it all straightened out, kinked out, happy. Grab our 2 ends. Boom, boom. And we'll just bring it back. Now, I'm going to cut both ends at one time. Everything's going to be pretty much the same size. So, we'll do it all on this side. Can you guys see this? Let's see. Here we go. Now you can see. We'll take this. Say the tire air chuck is up top like it is now. We want enough extra here so that we know when we have our end on it, we're just going to relax and lay. So lay that down. Give ourselves a little extra. And then we'll come up here by the front tire. This is where we're going to want our T. So come up about center of the front tire. And we will cut these off. Boom, just like that. Cut both of them one time even. Then we're going to want to come from our T with our two pieces. Lay it up here with a little extra. We'll come up here. Get it laying on the ground. And we will cut it somewhere in here. It looks to be close to 2 foot. And just like this. Boom, we're cut. So we have those pieces. Now, from those pieces, let's get our other end of hose here. Oh, did we make a mess out of this? All right, good enough. Take our two pieces. We're going to want to be able to come from our T here. We're going to want to come around to the front. I got to get this untangled, guys. Bear with me a second. Fresh hose. All right, now let's get our two ends. We're going to want to come off our T, which should be laying on the ground about there, around, and I usually air up from this side. So we're going to have some extra hose coming from the passenger side, but by making them symmetrical, I don't have to worry about which one goes to which side. I can just grab one of these hoses, hook it up to the tires, grab the other one, hook it up to the tires, and get some air in it. So we're going to just split this right at the end here. Boom. We're split. Let's hang this one here for now. Grab our short pieces, get them up here, and then we'll grab these two. Now, if you remember, on the other end of these two, we left the stock fittings. I'm going to pull these up through here. Probably easier to help me work on it. There we go. So we don't need our fittings yet. What we do need is we do need our tire chocks. Our tire chocks are going to go on here, like so. Plastic to metal. Some argue you don't need Teflon tape. Some argue you do. I'm a firm believer when we're playing with air here, let's just Teflon tape everything. Tape's cheap, and I would rather not have an issue. Why is my tape not? What is my tape doing to me here? Where's the other ends? This is the bummer about starting a new row of cheap tape like this. Not getting everything at once. There we go. There's the other piece. And then we've got more down here. You know, I can't with this tape. This stuff's so thin and so cheap. Somewhere I have a roll of better cheap tape. Where it is, I don't know. There it is. So this is gas fitting tape. It's going to work perfect for what we're doing. And what you want to remember when you're putting tape on, when you screw this end on, it's going this way. So you want your tape to wrap this way. If you go backwards with it, the end of the tape's going to catch when you're threading, and it's just going to wad it up and make a mess on you. So what I do is I always turn the tape backwards, get it laid on here. In this case, we're probably going to do 3 wraps. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. So now we just put our thumbs here, try to rip it as clean as we can. Boom. And we lay down the end of it. We're all good. Make sure nothing's covering your orifice here. Take our end, get our end screwed on. What size is this? Didn't check that. Not a 14 or 16, so it's got to be a 15. Let's grab us a 15. Boom. Got a 15 there. We got a 16 here. Twist this sucker down tight. Now, you're not trying to gorilla this on there. It doesn't need to be stupid tight. It just needs to be past cinched down. Like 1 ugga-dugga maybe. Grab our other one and our Teflon tape. We'll get 3 wraps around. This is some thicker tape too, so 3 wraps might even be a bit much, but it's working. There's 2. There's 3. Rip that off there. Lay the rest down. Grab us another fitting. Get that started on there. Grab our wrenches. 15 and the 16. And 1 ugga-dugga. There. Now we have 2 hoses that will connect to the back tire. Now we'll take the other end of these hoses. Bring those up through the handle on the table. I don't know what table this is. I've had this table for a long time. I think I got it at Sam's Club, honestly. You can see many projects been painted on this table. Many things have been done on this table. I love this table. It's so handy. All right, we'll get our hoses. Come here to our T's. Get it opened up. 1 T, and these are just hose barb T's. They just have hose barbs on all 3 ends. I can put them in, clamp them down. We're all good. I'm going to give us 6 fitting or 6 clamps, so they didn't give us any extra. What I like to do, put a little spit around here. Guys, we know what kind of lubrication spit is. Oh, don't screw up. Get your hose clamp on first. Then put your T on, and you want to make sure it's shoved all the way up on there. Now, when you put your hose clamp up, you don't want to go all the way up here to the end of the hose. You don't want to come all the way back here by the end of the fitting. You want to be somewhere in the center of the fitting here. So, and you can feel where the fitting is. This hose is soft enough. So we're going to go right about there with our hose, with our clamp. And then we're going to run that sucker down nice and tight. You just don't want to over torque these little cheap clamps. And make sure all your clamps are facing one direction when we're putting this hose together. I'm going to line all mine up with the top of the T. That way, it just makes things easier if you ever have to do a trail repair or anything. Let's back that up just a little bit. Oh, get this tightened down. You over torque these clamps, though. Snap real easy. But you can see it's digging into the plastic. I got it to that point. It feels like it's going to be too much if I twist anymore. So I'm going to call that good. Grab this. Put a little DNA on it. Shove it on nice and tight. Bring our clamp up right about there. Tighten it down. Clamp's facing the same way on this fitting as it did on the other fitting. Bring it down. You'll know when you hit bottom. Boom. That section of hose is done. Leave that lay there for a minute. Let it flop over this way. We'll grab our small tire sections. These are going up to the front tires. This laid out here. Grab one of these. Grab us a hose clamp. And this one's going to go on the center of the T here. Get us some lubricant around there. Shove the hose on. Get our clamps facing so that the screws are on the same side. Get it in place. Tighten the clamp down. These cheap clamps are a pain in the butt. May end up upgrading these to a heavier duty clamp, but for now they're going to work. Let's get this clamp straightened around a little bit. I'm not OCD, but I want it to look like I did it intentionally at least. Boom. Now we have our tail coming off for our first hose, or first tire. Let's grab this one and we'll do the same thing. Grab our other short chunk. Put our hose clamp on it so that it's going to be facing the same way. Get us some lube on here. I see guys use soap and water and all kinds of stuff. I haven't seen the need for that on this yet, so we're doing good. Get our clamp turned around so it's facing the same way. And we'll run our clamp down tight. Boom, second tire lead is on. And done, just like that. Now we're going to take our tire lead, our short lead here, and we're going to grab us one of these ends. These are Flexzilla brand ends. Like I said, I probably spent more than I had to on this, but whatever. I plan on using it a bunch and for a long time. So now we'll slip our hose up into the end here. Come on. I think I can. There we go. Now we got it on our hose. Take our fitting. Let's see, how is this going together here? That's what I thought. We have a hose barb on this side. Doesn't need a clamp on this. This is self-clamping. The barb is at an angle. When it goes inside of here to tighten down, it's going to squeeze and pinch the hose. Get this. Let's get a little lube on here. This is going to be a bit tighter of a fit. Get this. I'm just rolling it around, working it on. It's like the old Chinese finger cuffs. I don't know if any of you guys remember the Chinese finger cuffs, but the more you pulled on it, the tighter they got. You couldn't get your fingers out. You had to push them all the way in to be able to pull it out. It's kind of the same concept here. We don't want to stretch it because it's just going to make it tighter. So we want to grab low and kind of work this on there, spin it around, work it back and forth, whatever you got to do to get it on there. But we want to come all the way up and seat on the shoulder here so that we know we're nice and tight. And the good thing about using cutters like this, we got a nice square cut on the end of our hose. So we don't have to worry about that. Get that on there. Oh, damn, I forgot to put this on, didn't I? I most certainly did. Now we got to try to get back off those Chinese handcuffs. And away it goes. Come back here. All right, we retrieved it. Don't forget the nut. You got the flex piece, but don't forget to put the nut on here too. Now we'll try again. We had that sucker on there so nice and pretty and perfect. Mistakes happen, people. This is the real thing here. And we'll bring the nut up, thread the nut onto that collar, grab us a, is this both sides going to be a 19? Oh, that's going to be 18. This is going to be a 19. Let's go grab us an 18 millimeter real quick. Boom, 18 millimeter. And then we'll get 18 on here. Grab hold of it. Get our 19 on here. And tighten that sucker down. You can feel it compressing the hose as you tighten it down. We're going to take this down nice and tight. We don't want air leaks. Don't want to make that poor little compressor work harder than it has to. Ooh, it bottomed out. There we go. So evidently with these fittings, it bottoms out when you got it tight enough. Good to know. Then we'll bring our flex piece back up. It'll snap onto there. Just go up and snap on. Evidently it does. Here we go. We are all together. Now we will grab us another pair or another one of the tire fittings. Get us some Teflon tape on here. No, don't twist. We don't want you twisted now. Slow your roll. We got 1 wrap. 2 wraps. Good measure, a 3rd wrap. Rip our tape off. Get it in the threads. Grab us an end. Twist our end on. Grab our 16 millimeter for there. And our 19 millimeter for here. And I don't like that being there. Let's go there. Wrap this, twist this sucker on here. These pieces are aluminum, so you don't have to worry about it. The ends of the hose here are aluminum, so they'll take a little more than plastic will, but you still don't need to gorilla it on there. Just nice and tight. Like I said, one ugga dugga. And that is now one complete hose with 2 tire fittings. Boom and boom. And then we still have the 3rd end of the T to deal with here. So set this aside for a second. Come up to our 2nd one. Grab us another one of these cool little hose fittings. Pull this piece, the flex piece off. It just helps stop your hose from kinking or something is all this does. That's why I'm only using it at the tire ends. And then I've got 2 where this hose is going to connect into the T there. And then we'll slip our nut over there because we didn't forget this time. Get us a little bit of lube on here. There's already oil on here for manufacturing, so it's probably good enough. But we put a little of the natural lubricant on there. This shoved into there. Oh, that one's going to be bugger. Don't argue with me. Just do it. Just do it. And there we go. Boom. Got it on there. Grab our fitting. Get it started up here. Grab our 18 and our 19. 18 on the end there. 19 on the fitting. Remember, these will stop when you got them tight. They do bottom out. So you just tighten it up until it stops. Boom. There we go. Get tight. Then we take our Teflon tape. Remember to wrap it with the threads. got a little booger on the end there. That flatten back out. Wrap this back on here so we can work with it. I use this stuff so much at work. You would think I'd know what I'm doing. Come around. Gotta hold it on the threads. So you can come around. Once you get over top of it, it shouldn't slide anymore. It should cinch down on itself. There's 2. 2 plus 1 equals 3, at least in my old school math. Take our tire fitting. Get it started on there. Grab our 19 millimeter to hold the end of the hose. Grab our 16 millimeter to tighten up the air fitting. And like I said, one ugga dugga. Don't want to over tight this. Ugga dugga. There, now our second hose is done. I'll shove this down in there. Just keep it easy on ourselves. Shove this down in there. It seems to be whole. Oh, forgot to slide our flex guard, whatever, anti-kink guard. Get that slid up on there, just pushes in. You find a position where it seems to lock itself in there. What is the difference here? I don't think it's actually locking into anything. Keep just twisting it one nut at a time till I find a place where it seems like it wants to stay. There we go. That was it. Does it say? Come on, put it in, tighten. Doesn't say anything about this holding on to itself. So get it there. All right. We'll stick that down into there so that we still have the one end of the T there that we need to put the feed on that's going to go to this Y. We'll grab one of our pieces of hose here. And one end of said hose is going to go onto our T, or clamp on. Don't forget to clamp the clamp. Make sure it's facing the right way. Shove it on there. Get all the way seated on. Come around here. You know what? Let's turn this clamp this way so they're not bunching up in the center there. And we'll get this. I don't like that clamp. No, I don't like it like that. I don't want it sitting on the bottom end where it's going to get dragged through the dirt and something could happen to it easier. We'll turn it back this way. Get this clamp. Where's the end of our barb? There's the end of our barb. So if we're there, we're good. Tighten this down. Here we go. All 3 hose clamps are on the same side of the hose. The whole bit. This section is almost done. While we're playing with it, let's get everything out of here. All right, now we need the other end of our compressor lead, we'll call it. Boom. Let's see, we got that. Okay. Take us for more of our connectors. Get it apart. Boom, boom. We'll slip this over the hose. Slip this over the hose. Get this onto the hose. Like I said, I'm rocking it, I'm twisting it. Whatever's going to help it to move up on that barb. You just want to make sure it is seated against the shoulder here. There we go. We're all tight, seated against the shoulder. Bring up our nut, tighten it up. We needed an 18 millimeter for the nut, a 19 millimeter for this fitting. We'll tighten those down to bottom out. Make sure you go all the way to your bottom out. You'll know when you're there. There it is. Now on this end, all we want is one of our air fittings. They're going to plug into the females on the T here. So we take our male air fitting with a female end. Let's get some Teflon tape on here. 1, 2, 3. Wrap that. Get our fitting. And I found these fittings in blue. Hose is green. As you can see, the Jeep's green. Accessories are blue. I just kind of thought it would fit together. So now we need our 19 millimeter on the hose end. And we need our 16 millimeter on our fitting. We'll run these suckers down. Now we're going aluminum against aluminum. So we want to get it good and snug. And then give it one ugga-dugga. Boom, we have one completed hose. Just like that. This will hook in, this end will hook into our T fitting. Come around the Jeep. We have the short lead for the front tire, long lead for the rear tire. That side is complete. Nothing more to do. Now we'll take our other side. We have all the way up to our T fitting. We need this here hose. This here clamp, that empties that. Put our clamp on, make sure it's facing the right direction. Boom. No, turn it around this way. There we go. Little lube on the bib, hose barb. Shove that sucker on there all the way. Clamp in position. Tighten our clamp down. This is the first time I've done this, guys. You're seeing this real time, first time. Should give you an idea of what's going to be involved for you to do it. Boom. Tight. Now we'll take the other end of said hose. And on this end, we need our last fitting here. Come back here. Put this section over the hose. Boom, bada bing. Take this section apart. Stick the nut over the hose. Get us some natural lube on here. And by putting it on here, when you shove it in, it's pushing it away, so you shouldn't get much, if any, moisture into your hose. One of the good things about living out here in Colorado is it's so frickin' dry. It's not really an issue for us. Get shoved in there. Oh, and just so you know, Happy New Year. Today is January 1st for me. So whenever you're watching this, know it was a Happy New Year for me. sucker shoved on there. Come on. There we go. Now we're up against the shoulder. And we'll take our nut, run it down on there. Grab us an 18 millimeter to hold this on. 19 millimeter to hold this on. I'll say it one last time. Run it down till it stops. It gives you a definite bottoming out spot, so that's what you're going to want to go to. There it is. Now, where are we at here? We're going to need fitting and some tape. Teflon tape. Teflon on. The Teflon on. Da-da-da-da. 2, 3. Then we'll take Teflon, wrap the little tail around, make sure we're not covering our orifice. Get our fitting started. 19 millimeter on the hose end, 16 on the fitting. That's it. Here's a 16. That nice. One ugga dugga. And our hoses are done, guys. Just like that, our 2 filling hoses are done. So we'll get these. They'll just pop into here, and you can start filling your tires. Now we're going to take this third leg here, and we're going to put a fitting on our, well, yeah, here we're going to put a fitting on so our gauge reads. We can watch our gauge as we're filling. What we need to do is get us another female end. Double check the threads, make sure we're good. Uh-oh. Why is that not? What's not kosher here? Why are you not kosher? That's kosher. Maybe the end that I got was... I'm not understanding. I'm so confused. There we go. I got one bad fitting. So we'll stick that aside. Now, do I want to put this so it locks in like that? Or do I want to just take this coupler off and go straight in? I think I want to take the coupler off and go straight in, honestly. What do we need here? 19. Oh, damn. They got that sucker tight from the factory. Oh, damn. All right, I'm going to have to go throw this in the vise real quick. You hang on. Come over here to the vise. Get that clamped down a little bit. Don't want to torque on it, but... And then we can break our fitting loose. They definitely tighten them fittings from the factory. I mean, that's good, but wow. Get this sucker spun out of here. There we go. Out of the vise. Come out. Did have some putty or something on it. We'll save that fitting. We can use that fitting somewhere else. And then let's double check. Make sure I'm going to be able to screw this down. Oh, yeah. Make sure the threads line up like they're supposed to. There we go. That's going to be the ticket. Let's get us some Teflon tape on here. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way, Schleprock. Oh. Hold still. Get it on itself. There we go. 2, 3. Rip it. Take our, you see, you always have this little tail. is wrap it around the direction of what you're going to be tightening on there. And we'll take this. We'll make these two one piece. What size is this nut on here? What did I grab? I grabbed a 16. It's too big. Grab the 14. It fits. We'll get this sucker tightened down on here. And positioned in a way that we can see it while we're filling. There we go. Now we can see our gauge. You see our gauge. Our air lines are going to be hooked here. Compressor will be hooked here. We'll be booming. Now let's take the hose off the end of the compressor, which I've been seeing a lot of people complain that the stock hose doesn't fit any of these ends. But I tried it in quite a few ends, and I mean, they all fit on there just fine. These are two different brands here. I mean, I don't know why people are complaining that nothing fits, because everything I have fits. So, I don't know. Now we have a male fitting here. So we're going to take our on-off valve. We're going to grab us a female fitting here. Wait a minute. How is this going to go together? Bada-boo, bada-boo, bada-boo. Let's pull this off here. We can put the shut-off in place of this. And then we just need a fitting off the end of the shut-off. Let's get this 16. No, that's 14. Let's take this fitting off of here. Am I going to need the vise again? Probably. Whatever they use to seal it, I think, is wet when they put it on, and it dries and it's hard. And that's why it's such a tight fit on here. So we're going to put it back in the vise real quick. Wow. That was about 3 Ugga-Dugga tights. Go. Finish getting the fitting off. I'll keep the fitting. This one's setting aside because evidently it's a bad fit. Let's see. Something fit in there. Yeah, this one's got some bad threads or something. Oh, it didn't even get threads cut in it. There are no threads inside here. So watch it. These are the WNGCGC 15 piece. Got off Amazon. This fitting has no threads in it. These do. All the rest of them do. This one has no threads inside it. Garbage. Garbage. We'll put that fitting because that's a good fitting. Then we'll grab our shut off here. Shut off's going to fit. Get us some Teflon tape onto it. Teflon tape is going to fit. And tape wrap this sucker 2, 3 times. Get our tail laying right. Make sure we're not covering our orifice. Boy, it should be a drinking game for this video. How many times do I say orifice? Seems like I've said that a lot. More times today than ever. 16 millimeter wrench. Got it facing where we want, but it didn't feel super tight. So I'm going to try to force this sucker around 1 full turn. We'll see if it'll do it. Got a half turn. 3/4. Tight. Come on. Only need a little bit more. Give me that little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. Now our shutoff valve is facing. Oh, I don't like it. Stop. Is that open and closed? Oh, I got it. It stops at close, but opens down like it should be. Okay. Close that. Now we've got our 2 leads that go to the tires. We got our gauge. We got our shutoff. Now we need to make our shutoff plug into this. So we will take us a male fitting. Take the one that we took off here. Male fitting fits. Get us some threaded get us some Teflon on here. I always check my fittings. I always check my connections. It's easier to figure it out before you put Teflon or anti-seize or whatever the case may be. It's always easier to check it before you put that stuff on. That way if something's not right, you don't have a mess to deal with. Go. Come on, I don't need that much slack. Boom. Wrap our tail. Take our fitting. Put it in the shutoff. Burn it down by hand. This is a 19. We're just going to take this to probably 1 ugga-dugga like I've been doing. Here we go. Now we can take this, connect it there, boom. We can connect these to our tire lines, hook our tires up, and we will be airing 4 tires at one time. So we have a complete system here now, people. Let's get this off here. This is our Y. Our whole line coming in, shut off valve, 2 lines coming out to go to the different sides of the Jeep, and a gauge. Okay, that's complete. Then we have 2 of these. Okay. This is going to go from our Y at our compressor. Lay it out on this side of the Jeep. We'll hook off the T. We'll hook this one to this tire. And then we'll take the other end and hook it to the back tire. Boom. That will go to the back tire. That one will go to the front tire. We got it hooked there. That'll give us 2 tires. We got the same hose for the other side. We'll hook that up, hook it into there, hook it to the compressor, air up the tires. Like, just like that. Let's get this